Against a fast, deep serve, you need to be in third gear to execute your loop. You're losing to the rhythm and positioning, not necessarily the spin itself. Today, let's talk about the rhythm of your serve-receive. If your initiation for the receive is slow against a fast serve, you're going from a static to a high-speed state too abruptly, which will inevitably make you late. So, how can we match the rhythm of the opponent's serve? The first key point is that your ready position for the serve-receive is crucial. Regardless of whether your forehand or backhand is stronger, here is my recommendation. For players who are strong on both wings, try to place your right foot on the center line with your feet parallel. If you're a backhand-dominant player, you should use your backhand to attack balls to the middle, as stepping around can get you jammed or off balance. Second, players who are balanced on both wings generally don't stand too far from the table. This is because if they stand too far back, they can't generate power on their backhand. So, maintain about an arm's length distance from the table, don't stand too far away. If you're afraid of being jammed, it's a sign that your anticipation is too slow. If you are a forehand-dominant player, you should adopt a stance with your left foot forward and your right foot back. With this stance, it's crucial that your left foot is aligned with the left sideline of the table. If a player's stance is too central, their backhand side becomes a vulnerability, causing the opponent to target that position. Therefore, forehand-dominant players should adopt the stance I just described, allowing balls to the middle to be handled primarily with the forehand. The second point is the pre-movement, or split step, before the receive. Some of you may wonder why we start low and then rise up as the opponent serves. Why not just stay standing or stay low the whole time? First, watch my rhythm. I'll take a short forehand and a long backhand. Watch my rhythm, everyone. First, my knees must be bent forward to ensure my center of gravity is forward. Second, don't sit back on your heels. If you do, you won't be able to move in for short balls. Keep your hips engaged. Third, lean your upper body forward so your eye level is the same as the point of contact on your opponent's serve. You need to be watching the contact point intently, not looking elsewhere. Your line of sight should be level with the ball at contact. Do you know why amateurs often perceive short or half-long serves as being very low? If you're standing tall, you're looking down at the ball, which makes its trajectory appear much lower than it is. Naturally, when you see a low ball, your instinct is to lift it. You even try to lift topspin serves because you're looking down from above. Looking down versus looking level with the ball gives you two completely different views of the trajectory. So what are we looking for when we get down low? I must see the racket angle at contact to know where the ball is going. Second, I must read the trajectory. After the first bounce, does the ball kick up or does it stay low? If the ball kicks up high after the bounce, it's definitely a side spin topspin serve. If the ball stays low and skids, it's heavy backspin. But to see this, you absolutely must get your eyes level with the ball. Let me show you that perspective. This is basically the view I have. A side backspin serve's trajectory goes down, while a side topspin serve's trajectory kicks up. Most players can use deceptive motions, but they can't easily control the ball's trajectory after it bounces. Look, the side backspin trajectory stays low after the bounce. Now watch the side topspin, see how it kicks up. From this level perspective, the arc of the ball is quite high. You think serves are low because you're looking down on them. Okay, I'll serve two balls. You tell me which one is side topspin. The first. The second. Everyone is saying it's the second one. Correct. Even with a deceptive motion, you can tell which is topspin by reading the arc after the bounce. This is why professional players get low, we need to read the trajectory. Honestly, I can't always be 100% sure just by watching the motion, but we have to teach you how to see it. Especially against a new opponent, you can't be certain you'll read every serve correctly. But if you can't read the arc, watch the first bounce. If you can't see that, watch its flight path. If all else fails, trust your feeling and apply more friction. Amateur players are always looking from a top-down angle. I'll serve two more. Which one is side topspin? The first. The second. See, now there's disagreement. The second one was side topspin. For players under the 1900 rating level, this method of reading the trajectory is extremely effective. Even if an opponent serves backspin with a high bounce, you can still see that the ball's path is downward, which is completely different from the speed and movement of a topspin ball. The more you practice watching this, the better you'll understand. The second key area is your feet. For the pre-movement, some players prefer a vertical bounce. I prefer a side-to-side motion. This is because when I was younger, opponents often used fast, deep serves, so a lateral shift helped me cover the wide forehand more easily. A vertical bounce is also fine, it's a personal preference. Just don't hop with both feet at once. It should be a rhythmic shift from left to right, keeping your center of gravity low but active. Keep it fluid. For beginners especially, you cannot start from a completely static position. I'm more static now because my anticipation and pre-movement are highly developed. At a beginner level, keep your body in a constant state of slight motion, shifting left and right. Don't overdo it. This way, the moment the opponent serves, your feet will automatically start moving. Otherwise, your feet are asleep. A fast serve comes, and you can't react from a dead stop. You need your feet to be awake and in a working state before the serve. So, what's the key timing for this pre-movement? Your weight should be on the balls of your feet. The moment you hear the sound of the serve, your pre-movement must stop. You can't still be bouncing when the ball is on its way, you'll be too late. The moment you hear the contact, your pre-movement stops. Then, you initiate your actual footwork. Move sideways, step in, or step back to find the optimal contact point. The key is not to keep bouncing indefinitely. So, when do you raise your body up? After you've read the spin and trajectory, your body begins to rise slightly as you start to move. You can't move efficiently if you stay crouched too low. Let me demonstrate again. Pre-movement, read the serve, then rise and move. This slight rise of the body is essential. You're not standing up straight, just transitioning from a deep crouch to a more mobile ready position to initiate your stroke. Let's summarize one more time. First key point is stance, a parallel stance for backhand dominant players, a side-on stance for forehand dominant players. Second, when receiving, your knees should point outwards, not inwards, to allow for forehand rotation. Your stance should be much wider than your shoulders, and shift your weight slightly to adjust for various backhand shots. Third is your posture, knees bent, hips up, and don't sit back, or you won't reach short balls. Lean forward, press your weight down, and keep your core engaged. If your stomach is pushed out, you won't be able to move in for short balls. Your eye level must match the opponent's contact height. If they're short, get lower. If they're tall, stay higher. A level line of sight gives the most accurate read of the trajectory. Start your pre-movement, left, right, and when you hear the ball hit the table, stop the pre-movement, rise slightly, and execute your footwork. That covers the lower body preparation for serve-receive. Second, let's talk about the hands. Everyone's hand position is different, so I'll share my own. Since I use inverted rubber on both sides, a common style, short balls to the forehand and middle are unavoidable. Therefore, in your ready position, the head of your racket should point towards the straight line, down the line. Many players point it diagonally, which makes the backhand transition too slow. By pointing the racket head straight, you can easily cover short forehand balls, while maintaining reach for deep forehand balls. It also makes the transition between forehand and backhand much smoother. The second point is the distance of your hand from the table. Resting your racket on the table is illegal. You must lift it before the serve. So, let's learn the correct way from the start and avoid bad habits. In your ready position, hold your hand above the table with a neutral racket angle. If it's too closed for backhand or too open for forehand, you'll have a slight hesitation on the transition. Your hand must be over the table so you can react to short serves. Many amateur players hold their hands down by their sides. Reaching for a short ball from there is very awkward. You must have your racket up and over the table to be on time for short serves. What about long serves? From this ready position, I can instantly drop my racket back for a loop. There's plenty of time. Your ready height should be the same as your short push height. No need to lift or lower it, keep it consistent. Let me demonstrate. This is the most efficient method as it requires no height adjustment. Third, your grip. Never grip the racket too tightly. A tight grip slows down your entire arm's reaction time. Second, try this: clench your fist as hard as you can. You'll notice your hand starts to shake. If your hand is shaking, your racket is shaking, which leads to unforced errors. This is why pros relax their arm immediately after a powerful shot. If I stayed tense, my shots would become unstable after 2 to 3 balls. By relaxing and regripping, I can maintain consistency for over 10 shots. So, before the receive, maintain a light grip, about 30% pressure. Look focused, but keep your hand relaxed. The fourth key point. Keep your elbows tucked in, with your racket in front of you and your non-playing hand up for balance. This compact position is the fastest for reacting to short balls. Let me demonstrate. This ensures the quickest initiation. Keep your elbows in, not flared out, not loose. Why do so many players miss serves? Because they can return a serve at a consistent pace. But the moment the speed, length, or height changes, they start making errors. In table tennis, the rhythm of your receive is critical. You must match your tempo to the opponent's serving speed. If the serve is fast, you must be fast. If it's slow, you must be slow. For example, on a slow serve, if you see the motion is slow, you must not rush the contact point. Tell yourself to wait. But if you keep that wait mentality for a sudden fast serve, you'll be jammed. The key is adapting your rhythm. So, let's solve this problem of adjusting your receive rhythm. Short balls are easier because you can step in quickly but delay your contact. The ball's pace is slower, so it won't rush you, giving you time to adjust. Long serves are different. You must learn to adjust your timing. First, let's cover slow serves. If the serve is slow, your backswing must also be slow. You need to make solid contact, don't be abrupt, as that's still a fast-paced reaction. If the serve is slow, your preparation must be slow. The most common mistake is having a backswing that's too fast, which commits you to rushing the shot. So, for a slow serve, when should you start the backswing? Wait for the ball to cross the net. Once the ball crosses the net, then initiate your backswing. See how I wasn't rushed? If I start my backswing on the opponent's contact, I'll completely mistime the shot. This applies to the forehand as well. Always let the ball cross the net before you initiate your backswing. Also, for a slow serve, your backswing should not be forceful. A slow serve requires a slow, deliberate backswing, not a quick, jerky one. A fast backswing makes you lose control of power, you'll inevitably rush both the backswing and follow through. A slow backswing into a fast contact is good. Your backswing should be relaxed and match the rhythm of the ball. It's all about the backswing. That's point 1, avoid rushing the contact. The second issue is getting jammed, the most common problem for amateurs. A fast, deep backspin serve like this is much harder to handle than a slow one. You get jammed because your backswing is too slow. You need space to loop, but your anticipation is too slow, and your brain sends the signal too late. What's the solution? Against a fast serve, you must start your backswing the moment of contact, even before the ball crosses the net. Second, how do you make your backswing faster? It's not about force, it's about making your body more compact. My hand is still relaxed. The speed of the backswing is generated by the body, not just the arm. A faster backswing comes from a more compact and coiled body. You can't match the rhythm because your body is too loose. Trying to speed up only your hand while your body is disengaged is impossible. For a fast backspin serve, look at my body posture. The compactness comes from the core. You can only loop this ball if your body matches its frequency. Prepare, then explode. Just telling yourself to be faster is useless, you'll still misread the spin. Your entire body must match the frequency. You can't loop a fast serve if your body is static and only your hand tries to move quickly. It must be a unified movement. Your body's reaction has to be explosive. For instance, against fast serves to both sides, see how my body has to react and stay with the ball. Some players say their reaction time is slower due to age, which is understandable. But when you actively use your body to get to the ball, stepping in, moving back, turning, your entire state of readiness changes. The problem is we often react with fear, instinctively backing away, which will cap your skill level. At the very least, you must adopt an aggressive mindset. When you're tired, rest, but when you're training, your body must be in an excited, ready state. Why is serve receive so hard? Because the opponent's serve is fast. If your body and hands aren't compact, you simply can't loop it. Second is the backswing speed. Your action's frequency must match the ball. Think of it as gears. First gear is slow, then second, then third. You have to match the gear to the speed. Against a fast, deep serve, you need to be in third gear to execute your loop. Why do you misread the spin? Because the incoming ball's speed and rotation are faster than your racket speed at contact. That's why you eat the spin. You're losing to the rhythm and positioning, not necessarily the spin itself.